Hello there guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Build the Nation save here in Bulgaria, where we are the manager of Bdin Vidin. In Bulgaria, we are in our first season in the top flight, having gained promotion after 2 seasons in the second tier, and we're tasked with survival really. That is our goal for the season. It's phase 3 of our quest, survival. And we're back halfway through our first season in the preliminary phase in the FBET League in Bulgaria, and we're going to have a little bit of a rundown of what's been happening. The first thing we're going to start with is the finances. And financially, you can see that we are in a little bit of a hole, but not quite as bad as it has been in previous seasons. We're only £62,000 in debt, which our sponsorship more than covers at the end of the season. We are over the wage budget. We have got a lot of new players come in. I'm trying to move away from having loads of players on loan. Like I said in the last episode, we're effectively Ren's B team at the minute, with them being our senior affiliate. So have made some signings that has put us over the wage budget, as you would expect. And I think that's the best place to go next, is have a look at the players that we've brought in. And there has been quite a few of them, as you can see here. We've signed quite a lot of players since the last time you were here. The first of which we briefly looked at last time because he was in his contract talks, and that is Musa Diakite. He's brought in as a ball-winning midfielder, the Malian, 26 years old, on £450 a week, which is a lot of money, but he's actually quite a decent player. Decent FBET League player. He's made 11 appearances for us so far, with a 6.81 average rating, which is not too bad for a ball-winning midfielder. The next one to come in was Bdin Vidin. He's coming on loan from Metalist Kharkiv in the Ukraine, coming as a central defender. It's one of the areas that we were a little bit short on. So we brought him in on loan. He's not really top division standard according to our assistant. He's a Vitora Liga player, and he's only had a handful of starts since he has come in, only making 6 appearances. Done well though, 6.92 rating is not too bad. We are paying his wages as well, I think, which is at £400 a week. Indeed we are, so maybe not the best use of our funds. And the next guy in as well also came in loan from Lokomotiv Plodiv, and that is Valentin Shalamanov. I know I've said that we're trying to move away from the loans, but this was before I signed any of the other players. Again, central defender. I was short on central defenders, which is why I brought him in. Again, Vitora Liga player, but when you're down near the bottom of the top division, you're sort of looking for Vitora Liga players really to try and help us stay up. Again, not really featured for me, only 2 appearances. Not paying his wages though, which is good. Not great. He's not a great player. This was more sort of getting towards the end of the transfer window. I was getting a little bit desperate for central defenders. We've sold Markov. He left the club. We got a little bit of money in for him. Now the next one I brought in was Mohamed El Maghrabi, an Egyptian. He's got 2 caps for Egypt as well, so he's got international experience. I initially brought him in as a left back, but he can play centre back as well, as you can see there. He's a good Vitora Liga player again, which is not great. He's on £325 a week, which isn't too bad, but he has got some value to him. So if we do improve as the seasons go on, there's a little bit of resale value in him. A 6.61 average rating in his 10 appearances so far is not the best, but again, it comes down to a bit of squad depth, having some players in, and just getting some results. The next one to come in is Klimis Sirikos. He is coming in as one for the future. Definitely one for the future. He was 16 years old when we signed him on a free transfer from Kerastini, a 17-year-old Greek, and look at his potential ability. If he can get anywhere near that ability, then there's some resale value there. Maybe there is some resale value there at the minute, £120,000 to £300,000 a week. So if we could get that for him, maybe in the summer, and generate a little bit of money that way, that could be a good thing. He's made 1 appearance for us in the senior team from the bench in the cup, and he did get a goal as well. He's got 3 and 6 in non-competitive football. A couple more loans next from Ren, and Diego Coutadeur is the first one to come in. I already had this one pre-arranged, but he was 17 when I arranged it, and he wasn't allowed to sign for me till he turned 18 on loan. He's a central midfielder / attacking midfielder. Only made 5 appearances so far from the bench, but a 6.93 rating. Is pretty good. Again, it's squad depth. He's considered a decent Vitora Liga player. Again, so we are improving the squad, but very incrementally. And the second one to come in was Ryan Bamba, a 21-year-old Ivorian with French nationality as well. He's a right back. Not really featured too much. 2 starts with a 7 average rating. Is pretty decent, but we did make a signing at right back as well, which has sort of replaced him in the squad. Again, a decent Vitória League player, but he's absolutely free. It is squad depth, like I say, incremental improvements in the squad. And then finally, we have 3 signings, which are actual signings, and this is what's pushed me over the wage budget. The first one is Marius Liesegang. I think I'm saying that correctly. A 25-year-old German goalkeeper. He's a decent FBEC Liga player, which is really, really good. If we compare him to Juan Pablo Montoya, I think he's an improvement. His distribution's not the best, but every other area he is either equal to or better than Juan Pablo is. He's got a little bit of value to him as well, but so has Juan Pablo. So there's potential to move one of the goalkeepers on come the summer. So he's sort of been sharing goalkeeping ability. Goalkeeping duties with Juan Pablo Montoya. He's conceded 9 in his 4 appearances though, which isn't the greatest of starts to his career here at Bdin. Jarno Lieber is a 28-year-old Belgian on £250 a week. He is the new right back as things stand. He is a decent player, decent FBET Liga player. Again, so these are the squad improvements starting to come in. Considered a physical fullback. He's got good pace, good crossing ability. He's not too bad defensively either, and his mentals are really, really good. And finally, we have brought in Bilal Başakoglu, a Dutch Turk, on £230 a week. He's 30 years old, so he is on the older side. He's coming as a winger for us, and that will tie in with the little tactical change that we've had, which I will go over in a minute. He's only made 1 appearance for us so far in the league and the cup. I did pick up an injury in one of those games as well, which is a little bit disappointing for him to be injured so early on. So the jury's still out on him. A good Vitória Liga player, according to my assistant. Again, we'll see how he goes. But he's been around a bit. He's formerly of Feyenoord. He's played 76 times for Feyenoord and SC Heerenveen as well over in Holland. In terms of the outs, the 2 newest outs have been both central defenders. And that is Vasilin Markov. He went to PFK Montana for 15.75k. I think I showed that one last time. We also moved on Nikolai Dishev as well for 5.75k. He's gone back down to the 2nd tier. Quick run through then of the season so far, and you were here opening day of the season, that 2-2 draw with Botev Vraka. Next up was PFK Montana away from home, and it was a very, very disappointing 3-1 defeat, especially when you consider that we had all the ball, we had more shots. We played quite well as well in this game. Oscar Cole did get sent off in the 70th minute. We were already 3-1 down by that stage though. We did pick up a very good point in the next game though, against CSKA 1948. Again, we were the better team. They did have a little bit more possession than we did. We had more shots though. Montoya had a great game. The defence had a great game. Full stop, and it was a really, really good performance to get a 0-0 against CSAK 1948. We did then lose 4 in a row, and the first one was to Arda Karjali, 2-1 loss, 1-0 down at half-time. We went 2-0 down in the 67th minute before Jules Deville did get one back in the 80th minute, but it was not the best performance. Jules Deville, the only one who's got a rating over here in the green. We weren't the greatest in this one. Bit more respectable on this one though, only losing 1-0 to Ludogorets, and it was a 3rd minute goal from Andre Franco. We did get outperformed heavily. We did have more of the ball, which is a little bit surprising, but we were heavily outperformed. But when you see how good some of the Ludogorets players are, it's not surprising that we lost. They've recently signed Wout Weghorst on a free transfer, of course, to Burnley, Man United. He's been in Turkey as well. I think Fenerbahce. He's been around Europe. He's not much of a goal scorer, but it's, that's the kind of caliber of player that we're coming up against teams like Ludogorets and Levski Sofia. Which does lead me on to the next one, which was the home game against Levski Sofia, our former senior affiliate, and despite having 11 shots and 5 on target, we got absolutely hammered. It was 5-0 at half time. Former Newcastle player Emil Kraft. There was Marian Petkov got a double. Michael Keane, formerly of Everton and Burnley, on the score sheet there. 7-0, and it was a really, really bad performance, to be honest. And we couldn't bounce back in the next one either against Botev Plodiv. We got beaten 1-0 this time. Mohamed Brahimi with the only goal of the game in the 6th minute. A game which we thoroughly deserved to lose, if we're being honest. It was not the best of performances. But then we finally picked up our first win in the top flight, and it was at home to Spartak Varna. It was Kilian Baruti Liamba opened the scoring before Jonathan Du Marcolino got the second one in the 85th minute to win us the game. Spartak did get one back in the 87th minute, but it was a little too late as far as Spartak were concerned. We deserved the win as well. We played quite well in this one. And we made it 2 in a row in the very next game, picking up a 4-2 win away against Slavia Sofia. Now, this was really, really surprising. You may notice down in the bottom right corner that the tactic has changed a little bit, and we're going to go over that in a minute. But Baruti Liamba got the double, Duvale and Chuka all on the score sheet in this one. We did concede 2, which was a little bit disappointing, but we have played very, very well. CSKA Sofia next at home. Again, a game which we're not really going to win. We were 5-1 down at half time. We did manage to get it back to 5-3. Atanasov did miss a penalty, another penalty. We have taken him off penalty duties now. Chuka with a double, and Paulo Limon got the goals for us. Leo Ruil has picked up the man of the match performance in this one. We arguably were the better team. We had a lot more of the ball. We had more shots, more XG. We just conceded 5 goals, and it was disappointing. Marius Lizagang conceding those 5 goals with a 6.2 rating. But that did seem to spark something in the players, and we've been unbeaten then since then. The first one coming away to Lokomotiv Plodiv. Jules Devay opened the scoring before they equalised almost instantly, but we were the much, much better team. Cherno More Varna were next up with Gabriel Tutu with a double, and Baruti Liamba added the third deep in injury time at the end of the game for a very comfortable 3-0 win. 1 each against Lokomotiv Sofia. Louis Ruel opened the scoring just before half time. We went into the break 1-0 up. We did concede in the 78th minute as well. Lokomotiv Sofia were the better team. We were maybe a little bit lucky to get the draw, especially considering they missed a penalty in the 96th minute as well. A 2-1 victory over Hibar in the next game, and it was Gabriel Tutu who opened the scoring in the 6th minute. Modu Niang did get one back for Hibar in the 64th, but Chuka popped up in the 74th minute to confirm the win for us. Slightly better team. It was a very, very even game, but it's a really important 3 points. And then most recently, in terms of league-wise, we have gone away to Itar and picked up a 2-2 draw. Brian Rivera opened the scoring for Itar before Gabriel Tutu put us in front. We conceded an 87th minute equaliser though, which was heartbreaking, especially considering how well we played in terms of the match stats there. We played really, really well. And finally, we have a cup game against Maritsa, who we thumped them at 4-0, which was a really, really good performance. So in terms of where we are in the preliminary phase in the league, we're currently sat in 11th place with a total of 17 points from our 15 games so far, which is, it's decent. It's slightly more than a point a game. We're only 3 points above that playoff position though, which is occupied by Hibar. So it's really important that we do keep going the way that we're going. We're doing quite well. We are facing PFK Montana today, who we are level on points with. Of course, they'll be ahead of us on both goal difference and the head-to-head roll. But if we can pick up a win, 6th place are only on 19 points. We're only 2 points off 19th, which would get us into that championship group. But do we want to be in the championship group this season? Probably not. So we're going to move into the game then. We're going to have a quick, brief look at the new tactic. And the players that we're going to be playing there. This is one that I borrowed from Zealand. You all know Zealand, great football manager, YouTuber, Twitch streamer. This is the one that he's using in his current save in Japan, and I thought I'd give it a go. Why not? Why not? So it's we're not going to have a proper run through the tactic here. I made a tactic video on it as well. It's going to be Lisa Gang starting in goal for us today, a goalkeeper on defend. Libet comes in on the right hand side. We're using an inverted fullback on defend. Comes into the middle of the pitch, makes, fills in the midfield a bit more. 2 central defenders on defend, which is going to be Borisov and Chervak, and then a wing back on support on the left-hand side, which is going to be Nangwe. I suppose you could swap these around. You could move him back here and him up here, and you do it the other way around, depending on the players you've got. A defensive midfielder on ball winning midfielder on defend, which is going to be Musa Diakite for us today. Then uses a central midfielder, which is going to be Col Oscar Cole, he's had a good season. Well, he's had an okay season, shall we say. 6.6 in the middle of the park. He's had a few injuries though. Doesn't like big matches either, which is not the best. But as an advanced playmaker on support, we're then using an attacking midfielder on support as well, which for today is going to be Diogo Coutadeur. Obviously, due to injuries, we do have Devale, Basha Sikoglu, and Louis Ruil all injured. Winger on attack on the left-hand side is going to be Chuka. He is leaving at the end of the season. He wants to explore his contract options at the end of the season, which is a little bit of a shame because he's a very, very good player. And then up top, it's a complete forward on attack, which we are going to use Gabriel Tutu today. He's got 5 goals in 4 starts, 5 from the bench. So he's actually having a decent season. So as the players come out then, in this crunch game, level on points, of course, PFK Montana did beat us at their place. If you were paying attention, it was 3-1 to them. It would be nice to get one back over on them, but the 3 points are the more important thing. As we do have an early highlight here, it's going to be Liber to take this free kick, which is gone for the goalkeeper side. Simonov is forced into the save, though he does put it behind for the corner, which is going to be taken by Chuka on this right-hand side. Can he pick out anybody at that near post? It's headed clear by the defender. Only as far as Kolu has the effort. It's Simonov with a really good save there for PFK Montana. Good early pressure from a Bdin point of view, though. This highlight's still going on. Simonov goes long. He just gives us the ball straight back. We'll take that all day long, mate. And Liber picks the ball up. Comes inside to Borisov. Diakite out wide to the right-hand side. And Atanasov, who's moved into that right-hand side midfield role for today with the injuries that we do have. Cole does well to win that one back. Borisov finds Lisagang in goal. Now Borisov again finds Chervak. Chervak into Cole. Now playing as an advanced playmaker. Good ball out to the left-hand side and Chuka. Chuka inside to Tutu. Can he have an effort here? Tutu. He's hit the crossbar and Atanasov missed. It's an open goal. Open goal and he's missed. Still coming forward here though. We are lining the pressure on Montana here. Atanasov with the ball into the box towards Chuka. It's a point-blank save from the goalkeeper. The ball's still alive though. The goalkeeper punches it away behind for a corner. Point-blank save from the goalkeeper there. To keep the scores level, but Chuka with this corner from the resulting highlight there, again headed clear by the Montana defence. And with 15 minutes on the clock, guys, you can see from the match stats there that we are massively on top. And another quick thing to notice is the attendance. It's starting to climb, guys. But it doesn't seem like that long ago there was only 300 people here, but there's 2,000 here now. So the attendance is starting to climb, and that is good in terms of finances. Obviously, more gate receipts. Atanasov with the long throw in. Borisov heads it on to Cole. Simonov has made another save for Montana in goal. We are peppering his goal here, and so far he's proven equal to the challenge. He's going to give us the ball straight back. He does, yeah. Liber wins the header. D-kick there looking for Cole. Cut out though. Now Nangue, Chervak. Nangue again down the line towards Cole. He's got Chuka ahead of him. The 2 Spaniards combining. Chuka inside the area. He pulls it back for 2-2. His effort's blocked behind for another corner for Bdin. And we are having a really, really good game here. We are absolutely battering them. Nangue to take this corner on this side towards that near post. And Diakite gets there. The header's only just gone over the bar, guys. It was another good highlight there from a Bdin point of view. Approaching half-time now, and PFK Montana do have their foot on the ball. It's the first time we've seen it in this game. They're coming forward. It's cut out by Atanasov, though. He finds Chuka. Goes back to Lisagang. Nangue, the left-back, finds Cole. Onto the left-hand side and Chuka again. He's got 2-2 ahead of him. It's a good tackle though, but Cole picks up the second ball. Atanasov on the right hand side. Coutadeur down the line. It's slightly overhit though, and Iliev does manage to cut it out, and Simonov goes long. We should win the header though. Borisov doesn't win the header, but there's nobody in support of the Montana attacker there, and we've worked the ball forward through the midfield lines. Chuka, a little chip over the top towards 2-2 is in. He's put the ball in the back of the net. It's his 6th of the season. The liner's got his flag up. Come on, VAR, be my friend. No, no, no. Lino, did he go too early? Yes, he's gone too early, unfortunately. And at half-time, guys, that is a really, really good first half of football from a Bdin point of view. We've dominated. We've had 78% of the ball. 78%. We just need that goal. All right, 55 minutes on the clock, guys. It's still 0-0. 2-2's not having the best of games on a 6.3, so we're going to take them off. We're going to bring a Baruti Liamba on. Hopefully that can improve things. Diakite is not having the best of games either, so we are going to get even Cecino on. I've tried to sell him a few times, but nobody wants him. But he's actually fits into the system now in that defensive midfield role. So we'll get those 2 changes on. Hopefully that improves our fortunes just a little bit. It would be nice to actually score a goal here, get the points. 10th place is pretty good for us, but you can see that Slavia Sofia are also drawing in that 14th position, which is the one we're trying to avoid. So that would keep the gap at 3 points. And we finally get our first highlight of the second half with 15 minutes remaining. Atanasov down this right-hand side, finds Kurtado inside the area. He's well tackled though. And the referee's pointed, what? That was a great tackle. It was a really, really good tackle. Nothing wrong with that at all. It looked absolutely fine to me. But yeah, it's exactly the same as FM23, guys, in terms of these daft VAR calls. It was never a penalty in a million years. And into the final couple of minutes in this game, 5 minutes remaining. We've not been able to make all of that pressure count. With 76% of the ball, we cannot break down PFK Montana. And the goalkeeper has had a fantastic game for PFK. And that is a disappointing result. Simonov, rightfully so, picks up the man of the match award. We've had 8 shots on target and couldn't find the back of the net, which is really, really poor. It's quite a poor result, that, particularly when you look at the match stats. One thing that does though, guys, is it does extend our unbeaten run now to 7 games in all competitions, which is really, really good. Hopefully we can continue that. In terms of how the preliminary phase looks though, after those fixtures, obviously a disappointing 0-0 draw, but the teams around us doesn't look like they've picked up any points either. Itar were beaten, Varaka were beaten, Hibar drew with Plovdiv, so they've gained a little bit of ground. Slavia Sofia it doesn't look like they've played, so it's sort of as you were really. In fact, Slavia Sofia, yes, they do have a game in hand against Cherno Morvana. So halfway through the preliminary phase of the season, and it's gone better than I expected really. I thought we were really going to struggle in terms of the season preview. The signings that we have made have improved our odds up to 13th place, so we're now not expected to be relegated, which is good. So we have made some improvements to the squad throughout the season. We're going to come back at the end of the preliminary phase though, guys, and obviously check in to see which one of the 3 subdivisions that we do end up in. It would be nice if we were in the middle one maybe, because top of that middle one does gain European qualification, I believe. That's how it works, and that would be fantastic in terms of finances to get into Europe this season. But phase 3 looks like it's going well, so we'll be back then. Please remember though, guys, hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help me out immensely, and I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. So cheers, guys. See you later.